Welcome to MCM classes. We are a 25 years old setup and we have been training students for BMM for the last almost 25 years. The most popular course, of course, in BMM has been, and the college has been St. Xavier's College. And almost every day we get queries on the Xavier's entrance test for BMM. So today this video is very useful for students who are going to try for BMM in St. Xavier's College. So let's go one by one. Starting first, the BMM in St. Xavier's College is called the BA. It's called a BA in Mass Communication and Journalism. It is a really brilliant course, and if students can get in there, it is really worth it. Now, if you want to get into that college, you have to take an exam called Xavier's entrance test. The college gives 60% weightage to that and 40% weightage to the 12th marks. So you have to do well in your 12th also. Now, what comes in the written test is what most students want to know. So written test broadly has questions from English. I will go in detail after this. It has 20 questions from English, 20 questions from English from economics and data interpretation, 20 questions from GK and current affairs, around 20 questions from reasoning, and 20 questions from what they call critical thinking and analysis. So let's take each subject one by one so that you understand what are the kind of questions and what is the preparation needed if you want to get into a prestigious course like BMM in St. Xavier's. So first thing is English. When we say English, it is not like a regular English questions. You get questions. If we say comprehension, there will be indirect questions in terms of what is the tone of the passage and what is the author implying in this passage. The questions are indirect. Then there could be a lot of English reasoning questions, which would be questions like there could be a question where they would give a statement and then it would be followed by two different arguments, and they may ask which of the argument is strong and which of the argument is weak. Or they could give a statement and they could give two assumptions and say in this particular statement whether this assumption 1 is implicit or assumption 2 is implicit, or whether both the assumptions are not implicit. So this is called English reasoning. So there could be questions on English reasoning. Then in the economics and data interpretation section, economics mainly is what you have studied in your up to your 12th standard, so you have to do a thorough revision of your economics. Data interpretation, basically for data interpretation you have to have a certain basics of maths, because here you get questions which are like they'll give you a pie chart, or they'll give you graphs, they'll give you cumulative graphs, they'll give you a combination of different tables, charts, etc., and you will have questions which are asked on that. So for that you have to have a strong basis of chapters like fractions, decimals, ratios, percentages. So that is something that has to be strong. After that comes GK and current affairs. Yes, as a media student, you have to be very updated with the current affairs and also of GK, which means history, geography, could be your constitution. Media could also be a lot of media-related current affairs. But yes, it can be anything. So that is again a very wide section from where you could be asked questions. The fourth area is reasoning. Now reasoning is a section where they ask you questions on things like visual reasoning, or you could have questions on codes or family relationships or analogies or syllogisms, or just some kind of arrangements are given. So these are some kind of quizzes or some kind of simple questions which are given, which you should be able to answer. Another question, which is a section which I really like, is the critical reasoning or analysis question. These questions are questions like, where they will ask you as a media student, where they ask you a question. I'll give you an example, which would be like, how would you as a student encourage other fellow student influencers, social influencers, to follow ethical standards, and then certain options will be given. Now these are questions which will make you think, and which they will see how you are going to answer these questions. So there will be many such situations where you will be asked to answer questions based on which will be related to the media. So this is what your preparation would be. The preparation is intense. You cannot just go and take the test, since there is a heavy competition on this. You will have to prepare for this exam and go. You should have seen the previous year's papers. You should have done each question in depth. If so, without that, chances are not very high that you will get into a prestigious college like St. Xavier's. So MCM classes, we've been doing this for many years, and we have so many students getting into Xavier's, doing a BA in mass communication and journalism there. So if any of you are interested, do get in touch with us. We have specialized batches of students who are interested in getting into Xavier's, and we can definitely help you out in that. We wish you all the very best in your upcoming 12th standard exams and the BMM XET exam that comes after that. Thank you.